Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Bricko, and today I'm going to be breaking down the Yeti event. I'm going to talk about the battles themselves. Of course, I'm going to talk about Yeti, but I'm also going to talk about which battles you should be looting after you complete them, and what you should be buying from the event store. So, first of all, this is the second time this event has actually come around. The first time was in December 2019 for Christmas time. So very few players actually got to play this event, and even fewer have actually unlocked Yeti himself. Now the event has been made much more difficult from last time, so it is going to be harder for new players, especially the very last battle, the 4th hard node. The difficulty is so crazy that there are some soft launch players that are even struggling with this battle with a full 7-star team. But I want to real quickly walk you through the team I used to beat the battle again. I decided to try it and see if I could beat it. Now, of course, you're probably not going to have the exact same team that I do, but I still just kind of wanted to go over my general strategy for the battle. So pretty much what I did is I completely ignored the 2 Zanes and focused on getting the 2 Nias and the 2 Kais as low on health as possible at the start of the battle. So what I really start by doing is I start by focusing on 2 Nias and 1 Kai, and I leave one of the Kais for the end. Right here I'm going after one of the Nias, and then I kind of swap back together, and I keep going back and forth until they're both pretty low on health, and then I start going for that 1 Kai. By the way, when you are attacking the Nias, the 2 Kais are going to counterattack, so that's just something you should keep in mind. Also, the Nias will have their single target heals. That's fine, they just use them on themselves right there. It doesn't really matter too much. Here we swap to the other Nia, get the disarmed on her, and now we healed up Aurora. My main priority here was making sure that Aurora and Kai survived. Even though Aurora can bring back Kai, you don't want Kai to die, and I'll explain why in just a second. So right there, we landed a couple hits on one of the Kais, and now what we can do is use Redbeard's ultimate on the one that we haven't damaged yet. He still has full health, so that way he's not actually defeated. He's just now low on health as well. Now we land a couple more hits here on the Kais to make sure they are as low as possible. Right there with Lloyd, and now that leads us right into Kai's ultimate, and we can use this to kill both Kais and both Nias at the exact same time and do a ton of damage to both Zanes, which allows us to snipe one of them right here with Redbeard Shark, and we try to kill the other one here. I don't think I actually managed to, but that's fine because Zane won't do too much. From here, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be very slow. It's not going to be as slow as it could be because we did kill the 2 Nias, so we don't have to worry about their single target heals, which is really annoying with the double Lloyd and the double Wu as well. So it's pretty important that I killed both of the Nias and both of the Kais, because we're probably not going to be defeated, we're probably not going to lose this battle, because they really don't have any massive damage dealers left, since we did kill both of the Kais and one of the Zanes. So here, one of the Wus, or actually both of them, they used their ultimate abilities. Luckily, these don't do too much damage, they're just going to slow us down for a little bit. But right here, I think with Jester, yeah, Lloyd was dodged, so yeah, with Jester right here, we kill one of the Lloyds, and now we can move on to the other 4. So that was my strategy. I think it works pretty well. I think the biggest thing to take away from this is if you have a solid AoE damage dealer, save their AoE until you get both Nias and both Kais low on health, and try to take them out in the same hit, and make sure you do that before the 2 Kais get to their ultimate abilities. Now, since I'm using my Kai for his ultimate, his speed ties with the enemy Kais, and mine gets to go first right before they can use their ultimates. Now, this is the reason I was making sure that my Kai didn't die. Of course, it's important to keep Aurora alive, because she's just going to be able to revive everyone, but you don't want Kai to die at all, even if he can be revived by Aurora, because if he does die, that's going to mess up the turn order, and the enemy Kais will get to use their ultimates first, and they're going to completely wipe out your team, because the back-to-back Kais ultimates are pretty devastating, and you do want to get yours out first. So that was pretty much the strategy I used for that last battle. Okay, so before we go into talking about the most efficient way to farm for Yeti, first I want to talk about if it's even worth it to really worry about that. Is Yeti a good character? And the short answer is not really at 4 stars. I think he might be effective at 7, but at 4 stars, he's not amazing. He's a tank and attacker combo, so he's going to be taunting, but he also does a decent amount of damage, and the problem is that he does have a taunt. So, as we know, tanks are not great at low star levels. Attackers can be, but he's trying to be both, and since he does have a taunt, he's not going to be very effective, especially not in Arena at 4 stars. I think he might be solid at 7. I think actually Yeti in a full chill team could have some potential. I think maybe something like Yeti, Aurora, Zane, Commander Cold, and Ice Glider with one other unit could be really effective. It probably wouldn't be arena meta, but it could be really effective in something like Brickspedition or raids down the line, and I just think a chill team would be really cool, and I think Yeti would obviously give a huge boost to that. He has a lot of synergies with Dizzy along with the other chill characters, which can be really effective, but I just don't really think he's going to be great at 4 stars. He is a decent shared hero for new players, since he does have that taunt and AoE and solid amounts of damage, but to actually use an arena or any sort of competitive area, he's really not going to be super effective. But with that said, if you do want the Yeti, what is the most efficient way to farm, or I guess to loot all of these battles? Well, what you should be doing is looting the last hard node first, then the other two in the middle here, and then after that, the first one. Once you finish all the hard nodes, you can then go to any of the even energy normal nodes and loot those. The conversion rate for drops per energy spent is the same for all of the even energy normal nodes, but it slightly falls off with the odd one. So just prioritize the even ones and you'll get the maximum amount of snowflakes, gold, and scrolls possible. But of course you should be going for the hard nodes first, since those will actually have a chance to drop Yeti tiles. Now the reason you do the last one first is because it says 2+ for his tiles, the two in the middle say 1+, and the very first one here just says 1. Here's what this means. Basically, the drop rate for Yeti tiles stays the same for all 4 hard battles. I don't know the exact drop rate, but I'm assuming it's somewhere around 30%, 33% to actually get a drop. And if you do get a drop on the first node, it's going to be 1 Yeti tile if you get a drop for Yeti. On the second and third battle, if you get a drop, it has a chance to be 1 or more. I'm not sure what the cap is on that. I would assume probably 2, maybe 3 at the high end. And then if you get a drop on the last hard node, which is the same drop rate, somewhere around 33%, I believe, you will get a minimum of 2 Yeti tiles per drop with a chance for it to be more. So the actual drop rate for Yeti tiles is the same for all 4 hard nodes, but if you actually get a drop on the last one, you're guaranteed to get a minimum of 2 tiles with a chance for more, and then with the middle 2 you just get 1, but there is also that chance to get more. With the very first hard node, you're just going to get 1, no chance at any more. So that's kind of how that works. I hope that makes sense. It is a bit confusing. Now it is pretty hard to calculate on average how many tiles you'll get from this event for Yeti, since we don't know the drop rate and we don't know the percent chance for him to drop additional tiles for the last 3 hard nodes. But I did some rough math assuming a 30% drop rate and a 30% chance to get 1 extra tile for the last 3 battles, and if you do all of the hard nodes every day over the course of the 9-day event, and you spend all your snowflakes in the store on additional tiles for Yeti, and maybe you buy a few energy refreshes, I think you should make it to unlock. I think you should be able to get a 4-star Yeti if you focus on the hard nodes and only buy Yeti tiles from the event store. But like I said, he's not amazing at 4 stars. So now let's go over the event store and I'll talk about what you should be buying from here if you're not going for the Yeti. If you're going for him, obviously, just buy his tiles from this store, but if not, I recommend that you probably buy Aurora tiles. She is a fantastic character, especially when you pair her with the Ice Glider. She's going to be reviving people left and right. She's super effective for the Glyph Hunt campaign, as well as Monolith Waste, and she's pretty good in Arena on offense. However, she is currently bugged on defense. Sometimes she'll just use her basic ability instead of her revive ability, which makes her not super effective, since pretty much the only reason she's there is to actually revive people. And also sometimes the Ice Glider won't reset the cooldown on her revive ability, which is another bug. So she's not great on defense, which is why I'm not currently using her in my arena team. Which is why currently I'm debating between Aurora, Commander Cold, and Yeti. By the time this event ends, I might be really close to a 6-star Yeti, since currently mine is almost 5, and if so, then I might just get some tiles for him. I might also go for Aurora and just take her to 5 stars, but she still is pretty effective at 4 stars, and again, I'm not using her in my arena team right now. And I also might go for Commander Cold, because if we take a look at my space characters right here, you can see that I have 4 of them almost at 4 stars, and Commander Cold I don't even have unlocked. So I might try to take him up to 3 or 4 stars so I can start competing in the later tiers of the Gorwell's Great Escape event. Still haven't decided, but the great thing about this event store is you don't need to wait for it to refresh. But like for example, if I had 2,000 snowflakes, I could buy 5 tiles for the Yeti and then immediately buy 5 more. I don't have to wait for the store to refresh. You can just repeatedly buy anything over and over and over. So what you can do is just save all of your snowflakes until the last day of the event and then spend them all in one go. Don't wait till the event ends, because the store will disappear and you'll lose your snowflakes until the next time the Yeti event comes around. So just make sure you spend them on the last day, and then you can buy whatever you want. You can do the math and figure out how many tiles you'll get of each character, and you can determine what's worth it for you. And then finally, let's real quickly go over the pack in the store for 20 bucks. That gives you 2,500 frost energy. If you spend this energy on any of the even energy normal nodes, you'll get 6,250 snowflakes, which will equal 30 Yeti tiles, 40 tiles of Aurora, Commander Cold, or Zane, and 60 tiles of Kelvin. And you'll also get 125,000 coins and 12,500 XP scrolls. Long story short, this one isn't really worth it. You should probably avoid this pack. You can buy a maximum of 5 times, which will give you a total of 150 tiles for Yeti, but again, I don't think he is the greatest character, and you probably shouldn't be spending money on him at all. Alright, well that's going to do it for my breakdown of this event. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.